Welcome, dear viewers, to another gripping edition of Day's Drama Digest, where we dive deep into the heart-wrenching and soul-stirring moments that unfolded on days of our lives on June 11th, 2025. Today's episode was a roller coaster of emotions, filled with raw grief, unyielding love, and unexpected confessions that left us all reaching for the tissues. If you're ready to immerse yourself in the drama that shook Salem to its core, buckle up and follow along as we unpack the unforgettable events of this day. A funeral that shattered hearts. The air in Salem was thick with sorrow as the town gathered to bid farewell to John Black, a man whose presence had been a cornerstone of the community for decades. The funeral was a tapestry of tears, memories, and unspoken regrets, weaving together the lives of those he touched. The church, adorned with white lilies and soft candlelight, stood as a solemn backdrop to the outpouring of grief. But it was the raw, unfiltered emotions of those closest to John that truly defined this day. Beau Brady, still frail from his own brush with death, was at the center of this emotional storm. When news of John's passing reached him, it was as if a dam broke within him. Guilt, heavy and suffocating, consumed Beau as he confessed to Hope that John's death was his fault. His voice trembled with anguish as he recounted the events leading to the tragedy, each word laced with self-blame. Beau's determination to attend the funeral was unwavering, despite his fragile state. He saw it as his duty, not just to John, but to the family he left behind, to honor the man who had sacrificed so much. Hope, ever the pillar of strength, was torn. Her heart ached to be at the funeral, to stand shoulder to shoulder with Marlena and the others in their grief. But her fear of losing Beau again, so soon after his miraculous return, was palpable. She gripped his hand tightly, her eyes brimming with tears, as she pleaded with him to stay in the hospital. "I just got you back," she whispered, her voice cracking under the weight of her fear. "I can't lose you again, Beau. Not now. Not ever." The hospital room, sterile and cold, seemed to close in around them as Hope's words hung in the air, a desperate plea for reason. The doctor, a stern but compassionate figure, echoed Hope's concerns. Beau's body, still mending from recent trauma, was in no condition for such an emotional ordeal. "You're not out of the woods yet," she warned, her tone firm but kind. "Leaving now could set you back, dangerously so." Yet Beau's resolve was unshakable. To him, attending John's funeral was not just about saying goodbye, it was about gratitude, redemption, and closure. He would not be swayed, not by medical advice or Hope's tearful pleas. In a moment that encapsulated their enduring partnership, Hope relented, not out of defeat, but out of love. She agreed to accompany Beau to the funeral, knowing that her presence would be his anchor. Together, they would face the pain of loss and the weight of their shared history with John. The image of Beau, leaning on Hope as they entered the church, was a testament to their unbreakable bond. A bond that had weathered countless storms and would now face one more. Marlena's heartfelt tribute at the heart of the funeral was Marlena Evans, a woman whose love for John had been a beacon of hope for Salem through the years. As she stood before the gathered mourners, her composure was a fragile veneer, barely concealing the depths of her grief. When she finally spoke, her voice was steady but soft, each word chosen with care, as if to preserve the memory of the man she loved so fiercely. "John was my heart, my home," Marlena began, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "He was the man who saw me, truly saw me, even when I couldn't see myself. His love was my strength, my refuge, and though he's gone, that love will live in me forever." The room was silent, save for the occasional sob, as Marlena painted a vivid picture of their life together, the laughter, the fights, the quiet moments that meant everything. She spoke of John's courage, his unwavering loyalty, and the way he made everyone around him feel seen and valued. Her words were a love letter to a man who had been her partner in every sense, and they resonated with everyone in the room. As Marlena stepped down from the podium, Beau approached her, his step slow but deliberate. The embrace they shared was a moment of pure, unspoken understanding, two souls bound by their love for John, united in their grief. Beau's whispered words of gratitude, barely audible to the crowd, carried the weight of years of friendship and sacrifice. It was a moment that encapsulated the essence of days of our lives, the power of human connection in the face of unbearable loss. Shawn and Belle, a bond beyond romance elsewhere in Salem, the ripple effects of John's death were felt deeply by his daughter, Belle Black. Overwhelmed by grief, Belle struggled to keep her emotions in check, her heart breaking under the weight of losing her father. It was Sean Douglas Brady, her former love and lifelong friend, who saw her pain and stepped in to offer solace. Though their romantic relationship had ended, the bond between Shawn and Belle remained unbreakable, forged through years of shared history and mutual respect. As Belle stood alone in a quiet corner of the church, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs, Shawn approached with a gentleness that spoke volumes. "You don't have to go through this alone," he said softly, his hand resting lightly on her arm. In that moment, Belle's defenses crumbled, and she leaned into him, letting the tears flow freely. Shawn's presence was a reminder that no matter what had come between them, he would always be there when she needed him most. Their interaction was a poignant reminder of the enduring connections that define Salem, where love and loyalty transcend even the most painful separations. Johnny's confession to Chanel, meanwhile, the funeral stirred something deep within Johnny DiMera, whose own heart was heavy with unspoken fears. As he watched the mourners pay their respects, the fragility of life hit him like a tidal wave. Seeking solace, he turned to Chanel Dupree, his confidant and anchor. In a quiet moment away from the crowd, Johnny opened up, his voice raw with vulnerability. "Seeing all this, it makes you realize how short life is," he began, his eyes searching Chanel's for understanding. "I'm scared, Chanel. Scared of failing as a father, of not being enough for my kid." His words took a darker turn as he hinted at a secret that had been gnawing at him, a secret tied to Rachel and the night EJ was shot. "What if Rachel knew something?" he whispered, his voice barely audible. "What if she saw me with that gun?" Chanel listened, her heart pounding as Johnny's confession unfolded. The weight of his words hung between them, a fragile thread that could unravel everything. Would she offer comfort, or would his revelation drive a wedge between them? The uncertainty was palpable, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, desperate to know how Chanel would respond to this bombshell. A day of reckoning and reflection. June 11th, 2025, was a day of reckoning for the residents of Salem. John's funeral was more than a farewell. It was a mirror held up to the lives of those he left behind, forcing them to confront their fears, their regrets, and the love that binds them. From Beau's stubborn determination to honor his friend, to Marlena's heartfelt tribute, to the quiet strength of Shawn and Belle's bond, and Johnny's raw confession, this episode was a masterclass in storytelling. It reminded us why Days of Our Lives continues to captivate audiences, because it dares to explore the messy, beautiful, heartbreaking reality of what it means to be human. Stay tuned to today's Drama Digest for more updates as we follow the residents of Salem through their triumphs and tragedies. What will Chanel do with Johnny's confession? Will Beau's health hold up under the strain of his grief? And how will Marlena navigate a world without John by her side? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.